You know what time it is. The Real Talk Sports Show is coming up right now.
The day has arrived. It's time to let more people know about your business. You have the right marketing plan and the messaging in place. But do you have the right messenger? Good advertising and promotions need a professional sound so the message can be clearly understood. Don't leave your brand image to chance. Let our team of voiceover experts at CME lend you a hand. Give us a call at 678 304 8121 to find out how we can.
What's going on, Jonathan? How you doing? I think, are you on mute, man? Are you on mute? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Can't hear you, Jonathan. So I guess Jonathan done put the camera on me, man. I can't hear nothing he says. So I guess we had to run with it, right? That's what you get. Real talk sports. You don't know what you're gonna get. It's like Forrest Gump. Real talk sports show is like a box of chocolates. You not don't know what you're gonna get. So I guess hello everybody. Let's start with a joke. That's always good. I ain't gonna tell no joke. I don't know what Jonathan was talking about, where he was in this show. I do know that the NBA playoffs are happening, and the Celtics, man, they are in a do or die situation here. So, and I'm hoping that you guys can hear me. So, Jonathan has up on the screen NBA playoffs. Will Miami get the sweep? What would it take for either team to beat Denver? Trade rumors, Trae Young to LA. Well, let's go ahead and talk about this sweep. Okay, the sweep. All right, now here's my thought. And it always starts with when you get to the playoffs, it's a whole different type of season, right? And the Celtics, of course, I never thought the Celtics would be down 3-0. I just thought they had a better team than what they are displaying. But when I look at the Celtics and look at the duration of this series, the Celtics, they either come out in the third quarter and they don't do anything in the third period, or they don't do anything in the fourth period, or what have you. So it's like I don't think they play a complete game in the second half. I think I was looking at the game, uh, the second game, the second game of the series, where they actually scored maybe 20 something points. I'm actually trying to find that stat that I had where I was looking at the Celtics and the Heat's series. And right now, my stat. Okay, here we go, right here. Okay, say game one. Game one, when you look at the actual breakdown, the scoring quarter by quarter, Boston came out 30 in the first quarter. Miami hung in there with 28. All right, so that's a 2-point lead for Boston. And then Boston comes back the second quarter. They go 36 points in that quarter, which they up 6 points. So that's kind of consistent, right? 30 points, first quarter, 36. So right there, I'm thinking, okay, man, the Celtics, they're going to do good. They're going to do good. They come in the third quarter after halftime. Halftime, okay? And they only put up 25 points. So I don't know what they're doing at halftime. I don't know if they get hungry. They put all the energy in the first and second periods, and then they come and be so depleted that they start slow. But in game one, they allowed Miami to come out and score 46 points in the third quarter. People, come on now, you can't do that. And then, of course, the Celtics had 25 points. So the first game, they started hot and then they cooled off. You're averaging 30 points in the first, second quarter, and then the third and fourth quarter, you tail off. Well, that's not a team that is going to win a championship to me. You can't do that. And then we go back and we look at game two of the Celtics and the Heat's game. All right. Again, the Celtics come out, they scored 25 to the Heat's 24 points. Okay, both teams are kind of like average in that first quarter. And then Boston comes in the second quarter. They only scored 25. The Heat scores 30. The Butler did it. The Butler's always doing it, Jimmy Butler. And then this is where I think the Celtics, they should have taken advantage of the Heat in game two. The Heat came out and only scored 21 points in the second quarter. Boston only 33. Yeah, that's pretty good. But here's where Boston let themselves down again. They only scored 22 points in the fourth quarter, and they allowed Miami to score 36. So again, somewhere in the second half, the Celtics, they're not playing a complete game. They're not playing a complete game. So when we look at the fact of can they come back from a 3-0 game to try to win a series or either win one game. I don't think they're going to win the series. I point blank, I'll say that because I just don't believe that you can play against a team that is consistent. And I think Miami is playing consistent, and the Celtics are not consistent. And I think the Celtics gave all they could give in that third game because there has to be a point where you put all your energies in. And I think they had a talk amongst themselves as a team, and they said, we're 2 games down. We got to come back this third game, and we got to play hard. I think they played their best game this past game. And I think this game here, the fourth game, they're going to give a run for the money. But I believe in the back of their mind, they don't believe that they can beat Miami because I think they've given it all they could give in that third game. So I really think Miami has the upper hand psychologically, and I think it's Miami's game to lose. So, Jonathan, are you back with us? Can we hear you?
So everybody can hear me now?
Oh, we can hear you now, man, like Verizon.
There we go, baby. That's right. Can you hear me now? Yeah, we're not sure what happened. We had tested the mic a couple of times before we went on, and then somehow we went to commercial, and next you know, no mic. But we are glad to be back in the building here, loud and clear. Well, speaking of loud and clear, guys, as I mentioned to you, we have always on our show one of the most beautiful women on sports talk, radio, or TV. We simply call her the Tree, the Queen. Tree Dolman is back in the building. And there she is. Ta-da!
Hello.
How you be?
Hey, 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 hey.
Doing good. How are you guys?
We are fantastic.
Fantabulous. Now that I'm back on the air with proper sound. I'm not sure what happened, but people are like, dude, we see your lips moving, but we can't hear you like the Chinese movie.
Exactly. I'm like,
That's
man,
it. I was like, "What?" I'm not sure what's going on, but nevertheless, we're back in the building, and we're excited now to actually have sound where people can hear us and as well as see us. So, Tree, it's good to see you.
You as well.
There's that beautiful face. Look at that, guys. Look, see that the whole thing right there. Everything's changed. See, you saw me, Tyrone. He kind of swole up, but when the beauty's here, dun, 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 dun. And hang on a second. Do you have your faint now? See, you guys don't know, but I've known Tree for a while. She has this is show people that t-shirt. That's the Tall Girls Rock t-shirt you got on?
It is, yes.
That's what I'm talking about. And just so you guys don't know, so Tree, tell people again, actually your actual height and stocking feet, so people know that this Tall Girl Rock is not just a slogan, but it's the real deal.
6'2.5". And
I'm
I
just saying,
proudly wear
guys.
those every day.
That's right. I actually went to an event and I was like, I had some boots on, so I thought I was doing pretty good. I was probably about 6'2" at the boots, but Tree said hi, and I was like, whoa. I said, those heels make the difference. Well, listen, again, we appreciate you joining us here. Again, big kudos to you for your all the stuff you're doing with the Great for the Cure and also for the run and walk. I don't know if you saw. Yeah, in fact, I know you saw. You told me. I went ahead and did my virtual, so I'm excited about that. So
Yes, thank you for signing up and supporting. How was it?
Well, it's virtual. So that's all I can say about it. I'm just happy to participate. That's the main thing for me. Want to support you, want to support Chris. So that was my main thing. And I'm committed to try to do that every single year as long as you have it. So, and I tell you guys, it's not still too late. Am I right? You still
It's
can.
not. We're going until May the 27th, which May the 27th is National Gray Day. Gray is actually the color ribbon that you wear for brain cancer and brain tumor awareness, which is why you see I wear my gray ribbon, have my gray bracelets with my gray ribbons. I have my gray Fitbit. I'm just all grayed out, gray nails on my toes, just grayed all out. But you still can register for our second annual 5K, and it goes until May the 27th. So May the 27th is the last day to register. If you pay for shipping, then you will get shipped your t-shirt, your finisher medal, and your race bib. If not, then you will still be able to participate, and a portion of your donation. The main thing that we're doing, the reason we're doing this, is to raise awareness to brain cancer and also fund life-saving brain cancer research. We really need to fund it. It's going to take a lot of funds so that we can come up with a cure, and I have hope for a cure. So please support Go Gray for a Cure 5K. You can register at runsignup.com/Go Gray for a Cure 5K. We spell gray, GRAY, or you can also look on any of my social media pages. I have the link to sign up in the website and all of my pages.
Again, that's good stuff. Listen, before we go to a little break, Tree, what are your thoughts here on the playoffs? Uh, Boston have any shot tonight to try to keep this thing going?
Well, I think their ship has sailed. They do have a shot. I mean, they were the number 2 team regular season, and I think that they do not like all of the talk that everyone had about them not giving any effort during the last game. So I think that they have something to prove when it comes to that. I still do not think that they will get the W, but I do think that we will at least see some effort tonight.
Yeah, I think Tyrone touched on that a little bit earlier. Yeah, man, I don't know what happened. I mean, they had that burst, as he mentioned, and then once the Heat kind of weathered that and had their own, it looked like they kind of mailed it in. I mean, they really did. I mean, I don't think the athletes set out to do something like that, but their body language and energy just didn't look good, and they missed. I think they were like, let me see if I can get these stats, Tyrone. I think they were something like 24% from 3-point range. I think you might have mentioned earlier, 10 for 42 or something like that.
It was bad.
Yeah, so you ain't gonna win any games if you 10 for 42 from 3-point range. And I guess my question is, and then we'll take a break. I mean, I know you say, okay, sometimes you live or die by something, but if you were shooting that well, Tyrone, wouldn't you think at some point with the way Jaylen Brown is able to go to the basket and the way that some of the other stars can go to the basket, uh, wouldn't it make sense that they kind of say, look, man, we're not on tonight for 3-pointers. We're just gonna stop shooting and try to go to the hole?
I'm gonna tell you this: when you lose by 20 points, 26 points, man, come on, get out. Put somebody, get on out, get out, get out, get out. It's just like you go into the NFC, AFC championship and you get blown out the game. Come on, man. The Celtics, man, they let me down. They let me down. But when you lose by 26 points, you don't deserve. You deserve to get swept. So I'm like, go ahead, Miami. I think Miami gonna have problems with Denver because the Joker. But can nobody cover that dude? Anthony Davis, he's still dreaming about the Joker.
Dude, I mean, yeah, because here's the problem with the Joker. The Joker can hurt you in all facts of the game. I mean, and from the center spot, you've seen guards, get triple doubles where they'll have a 20-point game, 9 or 10 assists, and 8, 9, 10 rebounds. They'll actually have to have double digits in all of them. But the Joker is doing that from the center position. We've seen centers get triple doubles, but it's been like, okay, the guys had 10 rebounds, 15, 16 points, 10 blocks. But we've never seen a guy do this. Really, the only guy's ever done it before this really has been Will Chamberlain. So yeah, Jokic is now playing at some other level, and I think that Denver is going to be stuck. And the other thing too is we forget. Everybody talks about Jimmy buckets. How about Jamal Murray and his performance in the clutch for Denver?
Yeah, when you
Guy
got
had 23 points in the
Murray
fourth
has
quarter.
been unstoppable.
see,
Yeah,
hey, you know how we talk about trends. We talked about the big three and all that. I think Denver is ushering in. This is what teams going to start to try to do. They're going to go to this format now. If Denver wins, they're going to try to find a big man that can, shoot from different spots on the court, which is going to open up, everybody else. And all you got to do now is just find shooters. And now the coaching comes back, so we can move, pass the ball around, dump it down low, let our big man get it. And if they double up on him, he's going to throw it back out, and all we need is shooters. So find us a big man.
Well, I am happy that I want teams to start back going to this format, because what I've been seeing lately in the NBA is that they're trying to get rid of the big man, and they're acting like the big man is not needed. And even when they're doing the NBA All-Star selection with the different positions matter. You need a big man. And this just proves that point, that regardless of how great people shoot, and I know Stephen Curry, who's my favorite NBA player, has changed the game, and so a lot of people can shoot and score, you still need that very important big man on your team to win championships.
Yeah, and the bottom line is this. Okay, we can talk about the big man trying to go extinct, but the last 3 years, the big men have won the MVP. We have Giannis, we have Joel Embiid, and we have Jokic 2 times. So let's go to social media before we take a break. Our man, Uncle Steve's Lounge, is in the building. Tree, I have no glasses. Could you read what Uncle Steve is saying on social media?
I'm on my cell phone, so I can't see it.
Oh,
Tyrone,
can you see it?
read it?
Uncle Steve says you can make an argument that Jokic actually had a better year this season when he didn't win MVP. Hopefully, fans will start to realize his greatness.
I mean, Jokic, I think that he gets you got a couple of things working against Jokic. Number one, he's not an American player, and I think sometimes there's a little tiny bias against that. Number two, he plays in what is deemed to be a small to mid-sized market in Denver. So a lot of their games are not seen here on the East Coast, and we do know that a lot of sports still have an East Coast bias. And his game doesn't look smooth. I mean, you watch Jokic, you look at him, he's not a real muscular guy. He's not lean and mean looking. He's just there. But the guy is just silky smooth. And he seems like he's got eyes out of the back of his head. So, yeah, hopefully people understand that we're watching a guy that if he continues to play like this and not get hurt, he's going to go down as one of the all-time NBA greats. Yep. Don't mess with the Joker. Well, I'll tell you what else you don't want to mess with. Don't mess with us as we try to talk about our sponsors. We'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show in just a moment. Please don't go nowhere. Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, check out Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We have one of the largest inventories in our area for both new and pre-owned vehicles, so we're sure to have something for everyone. Family owned and operated since 1982, customer satisfaction is our number one priority. Come see our full lineup of vehicles and find the one that best fits you. Give us a call today, 678-726-5739, or shop us 24/7 online at allenvigilford.net. And we're back. You're watching and listening to the Real Talk Sports Show as we broadcast to you from just outside of Atlanta, Georgia. I have the champion next to me, Mr. Tyrone Poole, and right beneath us both is the lovely Queen, Miss Tree Dolman. And speaking of Miss Tree Dolman, we're going to turn the reins over to her because she's got some good stuff to talk about right now.
Hello, everyone. I just want to talk about the fact that the WNBA season has started. I know that I always say that we're going to talk about athletes doing great things in the community, and we are. But I will tell you who the athlete will be, but I'm going to wait until next week, Lord willing, just because I want to give the full amount of time to this athlete. But I did want to mention that we have the WNBA kicking off because I want everyone to support, because we know that these ladies are coming out, they're balling. We've been hearing that there have been complaints from people because so many players that got drafted got cut from rosters, which is also a thing that I don't like when I hear of all of these players that get drafted and then they get cut and they don't make a roster. Honestly, we just need more teams in the WNBA. And I think in order for us to get more teams, we also need to fill seats so that we can actually bring the WNBA into the green. Right now, they've constantly been in the red since their existence. So it's kind of hard to bring in more teams and spend more money when you're not even making the money that you're spending or breaking even. But WNBA season has started, so make sure you support the great teams. There's been a lot of moves. We know that the Las Vegas Aces, really popular team that a lot of people are looking forward to watching. The Chicago Sky, you have moves that have been made with the New York Liberty. Oh my goodness, you have the Phoenix Mercury, which I think all of their games will probably sell out this year because they have a great roster. And then BG is back playing. And in her first game at home at her crowd, she went off, had a triple double, and doing BG things like she usually does. The Atlanta Dream, they're 0-1 right now, but they're playing right now. So we'll see. And if you live in Atlanta, you definitely want to come out and check out the Atlanta Dream. We know that we did a great job with the draft, and the Atlanta Dream made some moves. I think that we will see the Atlanta Dream in the playoffs this year. Looking at the team that we had last year, plus the new pieces that they've added this year, I really think we're going to see some great things from the Atlanta Dream. So make sure that you support. You can definitely purchase the League Pass where you can watch all of the games whenever you want to. You can watch them on repeat and keep watching them. If you miss, go back. It's a great way to support. Also, make sure that you go to the WNBA store, get you some gear. I love every time I'm out and about and I see that orange hoodie with the WNBA logo on it. It just makes me smile. So make sure that you support because we need to see our women getting more opportunities. And your support helps those opportunities. So you're seeing more women get clothing deals and shoe deals. That's what we want to see. They're getting commercials and endorsements. But it starts with seats in the seats being filled in the arenas, and then also more televised games. So make sure that you watch. And if you're not able to watch when it's happening, we all know that we can record the games and watch them later, but they still do get ratings when you record the games and watch them later. So make sure you go out and support the WNBA this season. I think that this is going to be a season like no other. And I think that we're going to see some great games being played.
I think that we are all excited about that. The Dream, like you said again, they look like they are ready to do some big stuff. And I'll show you guys once again here. This was a quick photo from the All-Star team from I think last year. So you have some of the greatest players in the world out there. And Trey, I'm gonna ask you a question. And they asked Shaq recently about what he felt could be done to help, you know, even bring the game to a higher level. He said something that was very interesting. I guess he had mentioned it once before a couple of years ago. He felt that if they adjusted the rim down maybe about a half a foot, he said that would help. And he said the reason why he said would add more dunking. And he said he thinks that's kind of the big difference between the excitement of the men's game versus the women's game. What do you think about that?
Negative, Ghost Rider. Listen, we don't need the rim lower. The rim has been at 10 feet since the existence of basketball. You have the men that play with a larger ball, and the women's ball is slightly smaller than the men's ball. That's fine. We don't need you guys adjusting the rim to make it seem like that's the only way that we can get things done. No, you don't see a lot of dunking in women's basketball. And even if they were to lower the rim, you're still not going to see a lot of dunking. It's just that's not what's needed to grow the game. We just need the support. When you go to the games are exciting. You see the women doing these crossovers, these spin moves. I mean, it's an exciting time. Yes, it's not the dunking that you see from the men's side, but there's still great excitement. But I would disagree on lowering the rim. I think that would just change the game way, way, way too much. And I don't think that that's what's needed to grow the game.
Tyrone, any comments on that? Yeah or nay? About lowering the rim just a little bit? Maybe more dunking, more excitement?
No, I think I watched the WNBA, and I'll be honest with you. I think the game is they're probably the most technician. When it comes to men and the men basketball and the women basketball, I think the women are more technicians, and I think that's because not too many of the women. Possibly, I guess you talk about dunking and stuff like that, alley oops and stuff like that. Now, does the rim, lowering the rim, take away from someone's ability or their playing down? And I understand where Tree is coming from. No, I don't think so. But I think if we look at the fact, okay, why are or why do fans come to the game? Why do they come to the games? They come to the game to watch excitement. It's entertainment. Basically, it's entertainment. So the more entertaining, the more spectacular we can get things to happen, then I think, because the game that the women play, like I said, it's very technical. I love it. If you want to teach a guy how to play basketball, okay, this is how you pass the ball. This is how you set up. See how they do it. And sometimes with men, we take it upon ourselves with our athletic ability to create stuff. And I think, that's what fans want to see, excitement. And I do think, it could possibly bring a little bit more excitement. But again, everybody may have their different opinions, but whatever's going to bring excitement to the game where they can get fans into the seats, because that's where they're going to make their money. That's where they're going to see these contracts escalate. TV deals are going to start to happen. So, again, people turn the TV on when they see excitement or something, happening that they want to pay attention to. But I like the game, the WNBA. But hey, if they asking me, I would say, hey, whatever we need to do to put fans in the seats so y'all can get paid. So let's do it. So that's just me. It don't take anything away from the women. It's just saying, hey, if people want to see that, then how can we give it to them? With their pay, and we can get them big contracts. So that's I
I,
support both sides.
I think that it's funny that men are the ones saying that. I want to hear what the other women think, because if it was all just about excitement, then the Harlem Globetrotters would have been the face of what is now the NBA, except for the NBA, because at first they were the ones that were out doing excitements and doing all these tricks and bringing people to the seats. So to me, I think it's more than just the excitement part of the game. Yes, you want to see athletes working hard and doing different things, and changes like that make a big difference. I mean, if you just even look at football or different things like that, moving the goalposts, or just that slight difference makes a big difference, especially when you've trained with the rim. It just would just throw the game off, I think, from a former basketball player.
Yeah, and like I say, I have a daughter that plays sports, so I have an opportunity to hear it from a female standpoint, what she think, and so it's not just myself talking from just a masculine standpoint, but I sit down and ask my daughter a whole lot of things, and she comes to me and talk to me about a whole lot of female issues. So that's one advantage point that I do have. I have a daughter, and she's not a young daughter either. She's 22. So, but I think like you said, Tree, depending on who you ask, if you ask some females, they're gonna probably say no, don't do it. But then you got other females say, hey, you know what? That'll help me out. So it's just like anything. You always gonna have different views from different people, whether
Oh,
it's
yeah,
men or whether it's women.
that's true. So your daughter says she wants to see the basketball rim lowered.
No, I was saying from a standpoint when there are issues that come up
Oh,
in all life, period, dealing with a
oh,
woman,
of course.
and I have an opportunity to ask my daughter, what are you thinking?
Yeah,
What are you thinking? What how do you feel? So I have an advantage point where my conversation and my thoughts are not just coming straight from a masculine standpoint. I have an opportunity to cross examine or be cross examined by my daughter, who's a female. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, I agree, and I think that's all men. All men have women in their lives that they talk to about stuff. Jonathan.
Let's go to
Yeah.
social media here. Todd says, hey, I don't know. I can't name one WNBA player That's a problem. And then he says, let's see here, you need a gimmick. Let's pop that up here. You need a gimmick. I say have players should be allowed to wrestle at halftime. Now that sells tickets. Leave it to Todd to say something crazy.
He
Todd, we
said
can't have any
what?
women
He said
wrestling
players need to rest at halftime.
wrestle at halftime. Yeah, I'm not.
He said
Yeah, I guess
wrestle.
He said they need
wrestle. Yeah, wrestle.
like a gimmick. You guys remember that?
Negative. Negative, Todd. This is not the glow, the gorgeous ladies of wrestling. Negative.
Right. But at the end of the day, though, it is interesting that I think that what the college basketball this last season showed that the methodology that the NBA has been used for years, especially in these last 15, 20 years to continue to grow the game, is that it is important that you don't want to take away from the team, but if you have a team that has great players, those players need to be identified and promoted in conjunction and sometimes a little bit separately from the team. Because let's face it, I mean, as great as LSU's run was to the title game, I mean, you were talking basically about the rivalry between Clayton Clark and Angel Reese. And now Angel Reese is just exploding all over the place. She's on the swimsuit issue of Sports Illustrated. She just got gifted a Mercedes Benz, and she is now, like she said, if I went right now into the draft, because the WNBA has a minimum 70,000, she goes, I'm losing money. She goes, I make more money right now in college than I would make in the WNBA right now. So I think that there's some other issues that, as far as the money and how the money is divided, the NBA is kind of, they're a little cheap. So I
You
think
said they're
that's
cheap?
the NBA, not the WNBA, the NBA, because
No,
the
I heard
NBA,
you. The NBA.
right.
How is the NBA cheap?
Well, I just think that if you look, like I was doing some, I meant to bring the article. It was done by Front Office Sports, and they talked about that the player percentage of the gross revenue in the WNBA is one of the lowest in any professional leagues. Most professional sports up around 40, almost 50%, and they were saying that the WNBA women get about somewhere between 20 and 30% of the gross revenues. So I think that,
Yes.
especially not the NILs, yeah, they need more money. Yeah, pay them.
But my question is, you said the NBA is cheap. My question to you is, how is the NBA cheap?
I want to get that one.
But isn't the NBA a main benefactor of the WNBA? Aren't they
They're
like
not a main
strategically involved?
benefactor. The NBA pays. So the WNBA would not be in existence without the NBA footing the bill. So the NBA foots the bill of the WNBA. And then
that's my point.
Yes, but remember, they've been footing the bill for what, 27 years now, 28 years was starting out, or 27 or 28 years, but the WNBA has not even broke even. So they're in the negative. They're in the red every year. So I personally would not say that the NBA is cheap. The NBA does not have to foot the bill for the WNBA. They could make it to where the WNBA has to foot the bill themselves. So I actually think that it's great that they do it. So just me personally, I wouldn't say the NBA is cheap because they're doing what they don't have to do.
See, now, that goes back to my point. With Trae, you said, we don't want to lower the rim. We want to leave it like it is. Y'all think we can't handle our own. So I say that to say, not to make fun of what you said. I'm glad Jonathan said what he said because it made me think. Okay, so in the Word of God, we all know the Word of God here. It says a slave, a borrower is a slave to the lender. So if we're giving you money and we're saying, okay, this is how you can make yourself better. If you lower the rim, then you can start making money on your own. Then once you start making money on your own, you can make your own decisions. And if y'all want to take it to 11 feet, take it to 11 feet. But right now, we're trying to tell y'all how you can make some money to where you can stand on your own. Plus, you can get higher contracts. Plus, just like what Jonathan said with the lady from LSU. She like, shoot, I can make more money showing my body than I can going to the WNBA. So what's going to happen with that? The WNBA talent going to start being watered down. And then you're going to really go to a pass it 5 times before you shoot it versus having that athletic person coming in and, doing what they do and then, making it look, But anyways, I just thought about that when Jonathan said, the NBA is cheap. But then I heard Trae, you say, you know what? No, we want to do it on our own. But
I
then,
didn't say that.
no, me, you said to the point where we don't want to lower the rim because it makes it look like we can't do it. But I understood what you were saying. I'm pretty sure everybody else understood what you were saying. So all I'm saying is that, hey, we're just giving you advice. If we're footing the bill, you should at least listen to us. Okay.
Negative, Ghost Rider.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I think this is the problem with our world so many times,
If I'm paying your
especially
bill,
when it
you gonna
comes
listen
to
to me.
men and women. Yes, we appreciate the NBA footing the bill for the WNBA. That does not mean that you can tell us what to do in regards to changing the rules of the game. When the NBA decided to support the WNBA, they did not do it under the caveat of, hey, we're going to support the WNBA. We're going to foot this bill and help grow the game. And the only way we're going to do that is if we can come in and make changes to your rules or tell you guys how to operate. That's not fair and that's not right.
That's not what I'm saying.
The game has been the game for multiple years. The reason that the WNBA was in existence in the first place is because there was already a worldwide recognition and need and want for it. And that's what the story of Carla McGee and Don Staley and all these other Lisa Leslie, all these other athletes that they put together on the dream team before they competed in the Olympics and won. It took them around the world. So the seats were already being filled. And I've had this conversation with Jonathan in the past. I don't think that it's the problem of the rim being lowered so we can dunk more. That's not the problem that I have seen when I go to multiple WNBA games. The problems that I see is just the things that happens when there's a timeout or when it's halftime. Those are the things that get the fans engaged. Before this new management team and before the new switch to the Atlanta Dream, I was even telling Jonathan, it was boring at the games. Every time it was a timeout or halftime, it was just thunder sticks, thunder. That was it. And you even know with football games, going to them now, even though when you were playing, you didn't realize everything that was going on in the stands because you weren't paying attention. But even at football games and basketball games, it's the excitement during the halftime and the timeouts that gets the crowd going. That's what keeps the crowd engaged. It's actually not the basketball, in my opinion. And you're right. We all have our own opinions and we don't always have to agree. We can all agree to disagree. I'm just saying that this is something that I've noticed for many years since the Atlanta Dream has been here because I've been supporting them and I've gone to games in other cities. And I just see that the interaction is different, especially when you go to the Atlanta Hawks games and you see the interaction and the fun and the excitement and the music and the dancing, so many things that the women's game is missing. So I personally think, this is just me, I just think if we can incorporate more of that fun and excitement into the games during the halftime and the different things and the giveaways with sponsors and things like that, I think that will help bring the fans because you are starting to see where the Atlanta Dream games are starting to sell out again. And what I've noticed that has changed is what I'm talking about, the excitement during the timeouts and things of that nature.
Let me make sure I make myself clear. I was not saying telling someone what to do, making suggestions. So if you get behind on your mortgage and your bank come tell you, we suggest that you do this and do that. I don't think you ain't gonna tell me what to do. This is my house. We're just making a suggestion because we are paying your mortgage. Now I say this, what makes the game exciting, whether it's football, basketball, or anything that has a clock, it's not the fans, it's not the halftime. Again, it's the clock because the clock tells you only got a certain amount of time to do something. So the more excitement you can have between that time that the clock is running, that's what people like to see. It's always the thrill of coming down to, it's only 2 minutes left in the game, and this is the scenario. I don't think it's the clappers or the timeouts. It's the clock. And the clock tells you only have a certain amount of time to do something. And if you got two teams doing it at the same amount, then it's going to bring more excitement. But if you got one team blowing another team out, I don't care what kind of clappers you have. I don't care what type of halftime entertainment you have. People getting up, walking out the stands, because the clock determines the activity, which is the excitement on the field. That's just
Oh, that's true.
yeah.
So I wasn't saying that the excitement is the only thing. I mean, I thought we all know that it's the sport that brings the people out. So I was saying on top of the games and the action, because honestly, the WNBA, they play hard. I mean, women athletes play hard. Even in volleyball, you see where the females are more technical than the guys, but the guys have more excitement because they can jump higher and hit harder. But yeah, I mean, the games are, I think the professional athletes in all the sports are just phenomenal. It blows my mind, the things that I see. And it is exciting.
Somebody may help Jonathan with that camera, man. They supposed to hand it on you, Tree. I'm like, what is this guy doing, man? He don't
He wants everybody to see you, Tyrone.
I gotta tell you something. This has been a long day. It was a long day at work. It's been a long day since I got home. I mean, I feel like the Celtics played in Game 3. I'm not hitting nothing. Everything's airball.
You throwing bricks up tonight, man.
That's what I'm throwing, buddy boy. Man.
He throwing bricks up tonight, Tree. Man,
I mean, I can't even hit the backboard tonight. Mike was off.
And
everything.
You had me waiting. I was trying to get in the show since 8:01. Well, actually, since 8 o'clock. And he had me wait. He finally let me in at 8:13.
Hold up. You're not getting me like that. Hold up. Hold up. I sent you a text saying, hey, I sent the links to your email. You should text me back and say, Jonathan, send it to my phone anyway. I got that text at 8:01. Jonathan, you need to send that to my phone.
I did. That's what I said since 8:01, didn't I?
Yeah, but you see, okay, never mind. The queen is always right. I'm not
always right, but I did because I was trying to get on my laptop and my laptop was giving me problems. And so I said, you know what? Because I was actually really early. Right. And then my laptop kept giving me this error. So it wouldn't let me on. StreamYard kept giving me an error, wouldn't let me on. So I said, you know what? Let me just join from my phone. And I know usually you'll send the text with the link and the email. And then the one time that I needed both, it wasn't there. So that's why I was like, can you please text me the link? And yes, it was at 8:01.
Okay. All right. Well, we can live with that. All right. Well, anyway, what I was trying to say earlier about the whole thing with WNBA and ABL, and Tree, I'm going to assign you something. I would like for you to please contact some of your friends at WNBA, especially some of the ones that played in the early league, because there's a story that's been out, and I remember when this first kind of happened. Originally, before the WNBA, there was the ABL, and it was a league. My understanding, it was actually a league made and formed by women, and they said that basically ABL. Now, of course, they weren't making much money, but they said percentage-wise, they actually paid the players a higher percentage of the revenue than the WNBA, and that's why I was saying, hey, the NBA is kind of cheap. I understand not making money, but at the end of the day, revenues are revenue. Give the players a higher share. So they don't have to go overseas, so that you can market them here in the United States.
I mean, you know, I'm a female. You know, I look out for the women, but I still believe that right is right and wrong is wrong. And I don't, in my opinion, just because the NBA is footing their bill, I just don't think that they should. I digress. It's kind of hard to want more profit share when you're not even breaking even. You're in the red. Most businesses for 27 or 28 years, if you're in the red, you're out of business. The only reason the WNBA is not out of business is because of the NBA. So let's not forget who's blessing. You know what I'm saying? Like, the NBA is a blessing to the WNBA. I understand that it still needs to get better, right? We still have a lot of room for growth, right? But if the NBA wasn't footing the bill, there would be no WNBA.
Well, maybe the ABL will still be around, and maybe they would handle things differently. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. maybe the ABL, maybe those women that started the ABL, since it was more player centric, they would have come up with more ideas earlier, and they might have had more success. I'm just throwing it out there. I could be
Yeah,
wrong.
and that may be
Yeah.
true. So then why are they not around?
Well, because anyway, you're not pro sports work. You're not. It's like
I
the
do
NFL,
know.
right? It's
Trust
just,
me.
right. And if they think they got some competition, they do like any big business. Either they're going to eliminate you or they're going to absorb you. And that's what the NBA did with the WNBA. So we got a league, and basically it was a direct competition for the ABL. What are they going to do? They're going to have to fold the league. I'm just
They
saying. I
didn't
just think
have
that.
to. They just chose
Well,
to. But my thing is this. Hopefully we can get to the point one day where the WNBA will no longer be under the NBA, where they
there
can
we go.
foot their own bill. And then I'm pretty sure that once that happens, then there will be a larger profit sharing. But when you're starting a league, it's very difficult. And even with this new pro volleyball league that's starting in February of 2024, they're paying the players more. The minimum salary is $60,000. They have sponsors, they have different things, but it's still very tough to break even when you're first starting it out because you have the marketing. And if you think about it, back when the WNBA first started, the marketing was everywhere, which I loved. It was NBA season, and then you would see the WNBA commercials, and they were like, "We got next." I was like, "Ooh, we got next." I was so excited. But all of that costs so much money. And I want the WNBA to succeed. Lord knows when I was playing basketball in high school, I wish there would have been a WNBA. I would not have stopped playing. But we just need a lot of things to happen, which they're starting to. I think that we're on the right path to get the WNBA to where they will make more money. And that's what we want. I want the players to make more money. I want the players to be able to fly the teams to fly on private jets where they don't have to be in the public airports and sleeping in airports overnight if planes are delayed or different things like that. Like, I want them to get the all-star and superstar treatment that they deserve. I want them getting more endorsement deals. I want their salaries to be large to where they don't have to go overseas and leave their families to play the sport that they love. I don't want them to have to do the things that they're doing.
I'm with you, darn it. I'm like, show the ladies some love, pay them some money. Let's get them out here. Let's get some more commercials. Let's get some more advertising, some marketing. You
Yes.
know what I mean? And you listen. You got. I mean, you have to do that. You have to promote the brand. And I get it. People say, "Hey, man, how come with the women do we have to kind of show our looks?" I don't know. But the bottom line is, people like to see lovely women. They do. I'm not trying to say go out there and take all your clothes off. But I'm just saying that I think it's great that these women are able to market fashion, able to market athletic products, their own shoe line, but all that stuff needs to be out in. It just needs to be seen more. And you need to have individual players like we know about LeBron. We know some of the things he does off the court. They need to focus on some of their star players so people know who they are. They should promote. I mean, you wait to the end. You now that Tarasi and Bird. Now everybody, I see them all the commercials, everything, but they're in the tail end of their career now. They need to do that with their young star. They should be everywhere. I'm just saying. All right.
I
Speaking of being
agree.
everywhere,
I agree. And I think
let's go.
more with social media and the billboards, I think we're going to start seeing that. I think that back in the day, social media was out there, but it wasn't as large as it is now. So it is starting to grow, and you're seeing them promote them on commercials and with billboards. And again, you're starting to see where the number one draft pick, she just got a shoe deal, and all these great things are happening for them. So I believe that it is coming. And I do just want to make one point to what you said. I know you were saying, oh, people like to see pretty girls and this and that and this and that. We all know that women come in all shapes, forms, and sizes. And all females aren't the type to get all dolled up or, wear dresses or skirts. And that's fine. I don't want anybody out here trying to be something that they're not, right? So I just feel that everybody needs to dress how they feel comfortable, and people will still come out and support. And that's just my opinion.
Well, again, I don't want to overemphasize that. I get what you're saying. but I'd like to see them. I don't care what they promote. They come out here and promote trucks. I don't care. You go hunting. I don't care what it is. But I'm just saying they need to be out and
Yeah,
they need to be marketed, and people need to see them in their story.
I
Uh,
agree.
that's all I can say. But doggone it, we don't
What?
run out of time. Technical malfunctions is 8:55. We ain't get a chance to talk much football. That's all right. We'll
Boo,
talk about it another
sorry.
time. It's okay. This was a good conversation, and I do want to. I will ask you again. I'm going to reach out as well to some people like I know that you know as well, like Rusha Brown, some other people who have kind of been at different levels, been executives. To have them come on the show because I really want to kind of expand this conversation because it's one that really kind of is in the main station is not talked about much. I think that there are some female listeners and watchers that are excited we're talking about female sports, but I'd like to really kind of get into the money aspect because that's really what's driving the train, the NILs, the marketing campaigns, all that kind of stuff. And as Tyrone likes to say off the movie script, show me the money. Give me that money. I'm just saying. Well, I'm hoping that we can all make lots of money as we go with our various endeavors. And we're very, very appreciative of that. Before we go and let you guys all have your platform, I'm going to do this. First of all, I'm going to remind people one more time, guys, I'll pop up on the screen. Remember, it's still out there virtually. Can't go in person. You missed that. But the virtual 5K is still there. There's the information. Please, ma'am, please, sir. There it is right there. You can see it again. Hit the QR code and you're good to go. And remember, if you're trying to get yourself into some shape and you say, hey man, I don't know what to do. I'm not sure. I'm kind of a couch potato. Well, here's what you need to do. Simply and plainly, ladies and gentlemen, you need to work that thing. I'm just saying, guys, you need to get out there and work it like this.
This is your time to get what you want. Go work that thing with Work That Thing supplements.
And not note, Mr. Tyrone Poole, the floor is yours.
Tyrone Poole, all 38. Tyrone Poole 38 on all social media. Thank everybody for watching and tuning in.
There it is, Tyrone Poole. Thank you, sir. See you next week.
All right.
Ms. Tree Dolman, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. You can find me on social media at Purple Diva 13 as well as Ms. America International 2022. Don't forget to sign up for our Go Great for a Cure 5K. This is the second annual. You have until the 27th to sign up. Sign-ups close at 11:59 p.m. on the 27th. So please join us and join me in the fight to end brain cancer, and let's go great for a cure.
Yes, the Queen has spoken. All right. Yeah, I don't know what I am tonight. I think I'm still the minister, but I actually feel like the bad sports producer guy. But again, we appreciate all those of you joining on the broadcast. I am a real life minister. I didn't get it off the cardboard box. So I want to encourage you guys, if you don't know the Lord Jesus Christ, your personal Savior, please, man, please, sir, get to know him today because nobody, absolutely nobody loves you like Jesus. Came here both fully man, fully God, died for your sins. So if you repent of your sins and believe he rose from the dead, hey, two great things will happen for you. Number one, you become a citizen of the kingdom of heaven. And number two, you become an adoptive child of God with all the rights there. And that means you now can go to God like a heavenly parent, asking for anything that you need or desire, and according to his will to give it to you. And if and when you die, you go to that wonderful place called heaven. Most beautiful place ever imagined. Matter of fact, beyond imagination. It's beautiful. It's sunny. You never die. You never get old. There's no pain. There's beautiful people and loving people everywhere. And you get a chance to see God, Jesus Christ, and all the people of love face to face. And you avoid that nasty place called hell, where all the things I mentioned in heaven will not be in hell. So it's dark. It's painful. It's dreary. Bad people everywhere. But most of all, you're cut off from God, Jesus Christ, and all the people of love forever and a day. I don't know about you, but I like option number one instead of option number two. All right, guys, until the next time that we see you again, we say as we always do, God bless you and have a wonderful rest of your day or evening. So long.